Hello everybody and welcome to today's video where we're going to go over a harmonic analysis for the main theme from Thor Ragnarok. We're going to look at the chord progression, what scale the melody uses, and how we can turn this into something of our own. To get started, let's listen to what the main theme sounds like from Thor Ragnarok. This section of the theme is in the key of D minor and the chords don't do anything too crazy. The first section alternates between D minor and B flat major, and the next section, which is the main theme and what we'll be focusing on today, uses the chords D minor, which is the 1 chord, B flat major, the 6 chord, C major, the 7 chord, and A minor, the minor 5 chord, and all this with a melody over top. And I want to focus on that A minor 5 chord real quick. You may be expecting the 5 chord to be an A major chord or an A dominant 7 chord because this is common in all types of music. It's not rare to use a minor 5 chord, but it is a little unexpected. It gives the progression and theme an almost unresolved, somber feeling. It's definitely less aggressive than if the composer chose to use a dominant 7 chord. And that's because the theme is using the D natural minor scale. And I want to focus on the note C natural. You may be familiar with the harmonic minor scale, which is where we get the dominant chord in a minor key. Natural minor and harmonic minor are incredibly similar scales with almost the exact same notes. The one difference is that natural minor has C natural and harmonic minor has C sharp. This is only a half step difference, but the decision to use one or the other has a major impact on how your music can sound. To show how impactful this one half step can be, let's listen to the theme again, with the first time using D natural minor, and the second time we're going to use harmonic minor. This means that whenever you see the note C natural, with harmonic minor, you're going to see the note C sharp. For composing, there is no rule that says you have to use one or the other. It is truly up to you and what kind of sound you want to achieve. These are the sorts of questions you want to be asking yourself when you're composing music. Do you want that more aggressive sound or do you want that more somber sound? Even something as simple as a half-step note can make all the difference. With that out of the way, let's move on to the next section, which means how to take that chord progression and write something of our own. We are building on our existing chord progression of D minor, B flat major, C major, and A minor, but we are getting rid of the main melody. And I like to work in 3 stages when doing a harmonic analysis like this. The first one is to come up with my own new melody. Second, I alter the harmony and rhythm to something that I like. And finally, for the third stage, I add in some spice. And this can be altering the existing chord, changing keys, things like that. It's all about working in stages and building upon your work. You don't have to start with a finished product. You start at the beginning with minor changes and then go from there. So first, we got rid of the Thor melody, but we're keeping the chords exactly the same. Now we need to come up with our own melody. I'm going to use the D natural minor scale for my melody, but if you were following along or doing this as practice, you can choose whatever scale you would like. For my melody, I wanted to focus on the top of the treble clef, because I feel that's a good range to stand out from your harmony. I focused on using chord tones and ascending and descending scale runs to fill out the rest of the melody. Here's the melody I came up with, and keep in mind that I did nothing to the chord progression. It's the exact same as we listened to before. Now we get to the second part of building our own theme, and that is focusing on the harmony and rhythm. Again, the harmony I'm keeping the same, so I'm not changing any chords at this stage. For the rhythm, I am adding in some interest. For some reason, I was really feeling this parlor march style, so I added that into the rhythm, and I felt like it really fit the piece well with the melody I wrote. So here's the example of my second stage, where the melody is the same, the chords are the same, but now the harmonic rhythm is a little different. And now we get to the third stage, which I call, I guess, adding spice and flavor. It's basically making it more interesting. And one of my favorite things to do is add chords to a progression, and that will really change your sound. For example, I took a half diminished chord and inserted it into the progression. A half diminished chord is a versatile tool that you can use, and you can put them in a lot of different progressions, both major and minor, to get different sounds. They fit in a lot of places, and all around they sound really cool, and I love to use them. Another chord I added in was an A dominant 7 chord. Earlier we were talking about the difference between natural minor versus harmonic minor. Well, you can use them both together. For the last section before it resolves, I have half a measure of natural minor, and then it switches modes to harmonic minor and then resolves. And this mode mixture is a good example of how you can start to mix different ideas together even if they don't necessarily think they would work. So maybe you think natural minor and harmonic minor don't go together, but again, remember there's only one half step difference between the two, so your melody doesn't have to change that much. All you need to do is, if you have C natural, change it to C sharp. And for the third chord I added, well, I just did a video on suspended chords, so I felt like tossing a sus chord in at the end. So I use a 9/8 suspension that resolves a measure later. And now with all that out of the way, let's listen to what the final example sounds like. Okay, so that was the final project of this little experiment, and before we wrap up the video, I actually have a favor to ask. This is a new type of format that I'm trying out because I really love to analyze music and figure out how chords and melodies work together, and I'd like to do more videos on that. So I'm asking, what kinds of things would you like to see more of? Was I not clear enough on how to come up with your own melody, or chords, or how to come up with new chords, or new rhythms, or the whole process in general? Basically, any feedback that you would like to see more of in these types of videos, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to make these videos better because I'd like to do more of them. Again, I'm really interested in this kind of thing. So if you have any comments or ideas or things I can improve upon, I'd love to hear about it in the comments section, and I'll try and respond and we can get a little dialogue going. But yeah, let me know what you think. And with all that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you for watching.